all-new GoDaddy.
Speaking for itself, I call it fortune tell. Fire top from a bitch that work at corporate sales. Chinchilla Ushanka, we skiing out in Courchevel. Breaking news, they try to kill him, but the boy prevails. I leave for tour and my niggas fucking go to jail. Preaching to the dogs by wanting more for themselves. It's weighing heavy on my moral scale. Knowing they gon' sell another Citizen Kane, they think they Orson Welles. Walking Chanel, they like, how the fuck you need more Chanel? I got these cats tucking tails on 4-quarter sales. I'm used to seeing tears drop over enormous meals. The restaurant clears out, faint echoes of Lauryn Hill. I say we gotta talk about us, I feel like Jordan Peele. Could tell I'm getting under your skin like an orange peel. Cause your words don't match your actions like a foreign film. And now silence in the lamb like the horror film. Things get quiet after me stating the obvious. Things get kinky after 15 years of dominance. That October sky is looking ominous. The money is autonomous. Shout to Oliver North, he out in Rome doing Toronto shit. And Jeremiah the watchdog, you niggas know what time it is. I'm in and out of Houston hobby so much I'm a hobbyist. Hoes waiting on cinch in the lobby, that boy a lobbyist. Savage got a green card straight out of the consulate. Where I go, you go, brother, we Yugoslavian. Formal is a dress code, dawg. So many checks owed, I feel Czechoslovakia, nigga, what the fuck? Nah, I'm moving different right now, for real, like, I feel like if Mike switched out the glove for the pen, like, this shit just too enticing right now, you know? Look. Diamonds do the silly dance, I raise up the wine glass. Metal detectors beeping, it's security bypass. The numbers going up, someone pull up the line graph. The days are going by, it's like I'm living in time lapse. They talking to Adele like he majored in finance. Shania Twain notepad, I'm making it line dance. You try and rob me and it's gon' feel like you sitting at your favorite restaurant. Cause nigga, that's where you dine at. Mob ties, I swear we like a bitch with fine sisters and fine cousins. The family all bad. I'm preaching to the dolls about cleaning their images. I swear I'm like a young T.D. Jakes to my menaces. Long kiss goodnight, PDA for my nemesis. 300 acres, PGA on the premises. That's what's really bracking like this verse in parenthesis. I'm giving hits to niggas on some don't even mention it. Like, don't even worry about it. Like, just give me back whenever. Or don't, you know. It is what it is, I guess. Yeah. Look, you young boys take some of that money and set it aside. Not having enough to pay your taxes a federal crime. You niggas obsessed with me and it's not on no hetero vibe. Handle beef so quiet, you think that I'm letting it slide. Next thing you know, we tiptoeing past enemy lines. Diss me so long ago, we making your memories fly. Conspiracy theories start floating around like the Kennedy guy. I'll probably hold a grudge against you guys till I'm 75. Hey, niggas lying for a living, I couldn't relate. We all gotta lay in the bed we make, but that couldn't be Drake. You forced a lot of fake love when real ones stood in your face. That's why you got deserted by your niggas like pudding and cake. I got you on camera bowing down, but the footage is safe. Thank God, another USB to put in the safe. Thank God, at the crib dipping my foot in the lake. I swear that y'all turned me into the villain, I couldn't escape. Not saying I'm the best at what I do. I'm just saying that it's me versus whoever wanna lose. Pick any one of the who's. I got 2 tools for new crews. RIP to the DJ from Houston, we lose screws. Helicopters, cop lights, and news crews. Niggas steady crying to my daddy, well boo-hoo. You probably heard a lot about the boy, well true.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the Wyatt Live One-ish show. Let me just say this to my family. If we don't get started by 1:30, it's probably not going to happen. You have to understand, I'm usually done doing what I'm doing for the day right around 1 o'clock, and then I have to pack in, and and try to make it here and do what we do. I try to do it all in a small time frame. So we're here. I try to make it. I try to do the best I can. And I want to thank those that stick around and listen to the intros and this and this and that. I want y'all to understand something. Can you guys hear me okay? Can everybody hear me okay? Just want to be honest and tell you something about my intros. My intros mean a lot to me. Y'all might think it's cap or whatever, I don't know, but I I choose songs that have meaning to me because I got to get in a certain swing, a certain mood, a certain rhythm. And a lot of verses that you hear in the songs and the intros, they mean a lot to me. I didn't write them, but the greatest songwriters in the world express things that we would love to say and we just can't find the words. I know we all remember the old school movie Five Heartbeats, right? Remember Five Heartbeats? Duck, duck. Come on, TJ, JT. Come on, JT. Do the steps, JT. Well, the character Duck, who wrote all the songs, played by what's his name? What's his name? The guy he put the money up for the movie. I can't think of his name, but God, I see his face right in front of me. It'll come up, and one of my smart family members will put it up in the screen. Robert Townsend, I think his name is. Yeah, Robert Townsend. He says this famous line. It's famous to me. It's famous to me. When he says, "You're not a great songwriter until you have hit some terrible times in your life." Good songwriters, great songwriters, write about things that's relevant in a lot of people's lives. And man, I'm gonna tell you, there's some lyricists out here that really write shit that I've been through, that I've gone through, and I think we can express it more than anything in R&B music when it comes to slow jams, breakup music, breakup music. I think that's why ladies get more intrigued. They get more into slow jams than men do. Ladies tend to hear a lot of pain in slow music. Y'all hear a lot of pain that y'all been through in slow music, in breakup music. And I ain't gonna take no more. That's Mary J all day long. Mary J. Blige is the queen of the slow jam. I ain't gonna take no more bullshit off these dudes. And I'm gonna write about 3 years. I'm gonna write 3 albums of how I ain't gonna take this shit no more. I ain't gonna take this shit no more. Album number 2, I'm not gonna take this shit anymore. Album number 3, I ain't gonna take this shit anymore. Album number 4, I'm tired of taking this shit. Still taking this shit. I ain't gonna take this shit anymore. Keep on taking all this shit. No more pain. No more drama. No, what was that? Album 5? No more drama. Album 5, and you saying no more drama. You've been singing drama shit for 5 albums, Mary. You still my favorite. I'm just being honest. Shit. And then right after that song, she get a Dr. Dre beat and get out in the middle of the street in the video and do that one famous shit she been doing since 88. She do that one little hop. And they still be gassing her up. Y'all need to stop putting a battery in Mary's back. Go Mary, go Mary, go Mary, go Mary. Y'all be gassing Mary up. I'm like, yeah, that's the step from 88. And that's the video. That's the same shit from 88, Mary. Do something new, Mary. Just do something new. Add a twist. Twist the other hand or the other hip one time, Mary. Now, y'all know I'm just messing with Mary because Mary J. Blige, of course, is in my area. It's in my era. And I'm telling you, like, she's one of my favorite female artists, but damn, I can't relate to her songs. Like, it don't hit me like it hit the ladies. Now, when she go get Dre and she getting shit like this, I can relate to this because it get us on the dance floors. But I can't relate to Mary when she on No More Tears, No More Drama and shit like that. And I mean, the whole album. And then you go get Dre. And now you hook me right back in, and I hear shit like this.
I wish you let me do it.
And she pulled me back in on shit like that. And then of course she go get dog. She go get my dog. And then it's just I'm right back a Mary fan all over again when she do shit like this.
Brothers, enough to make a hard rock smile. Shorty, I'm there for you anytime you need me. For real, girl, it's me in your world. Believe me, nothing make a man feel better than a woman. Queen with a crown that be down for whatever. There are few things that's forever. My lady, we can make war or make babies. Back when I was nothing, you made a brother feel like he was something. That's why I'm with you to this day, boo, no frontin'. Even when the skies were gray, you would rub me on my back and say, baby, it'll be okay.
Now y'all know that come a long way from when we first started. Now that was the man, how like Mary brought the man in to be able to bring men back into her, into her grace instead of dogging fellas all the time. Mary had to do some shit, that brought guys back in, and she brought, Tu Wong Fu or Tu Wong Fu. I call him Tu Wong Fu, but Tu Wong Club and shit. He went and got your boy, Method Man. And it just turned, now we back on it. We're back on it. The fellas was not really rocking with Mary for a while because Mary was dogging us. Mary was making, she was putting women in a place that was making it dark. She was keeping ladies dark, reminding them of their bad situations, saying, fuck him, girl, you don't need him. No more drama. And then she go get Method Man to say some shit like, I can't live without you. There ain't nothing like a woman. A man ain't a man without a woman. Thanks, Huddy Hud. He said Wu-Tang. What I call him, Wu-Tang fool? I didn't really rock with Wu-Tang until they split up. I wasn't fucking with Dirty Old Bastard and shit like that. I was not a Wu-Tang guy. I was a Method Man guy, and I was, you know how it is. In hip-hop, bro, you could see a group. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't like Heavy D and the Boys. I like Heavy D. You know what I'm saying? The Boys didn't do shit for me. Like, okay, Heavy D could sing this one and do this one on his own. Wu-Tang is sort of like the same thing. Method Man had all the verses as far as I was concerned. He was the standout. He was the Bobby Brown of the new edition. Let's just say that. All right. That's my opinion. I wasn't a Wu-Tang guy. I was a Poor Righteous Teacher dude. I was a, X-Clan. I was that type of dude. I wasn't into the Wu-Tang like that. I didn't like the style. They added all that karate and shit. I didn't like all that. All that old goofy ass shit. That was goofy shit to me. But let me tell y'all, the era I grew up when men took control. And I'm talking about after the Teddy Pendergrass. I'm talking about, Ron said, you're forgetting about Redman. Redman wasn't in Wu-Tang. Redman was a solo artist. He was a solo artist his whole career, except when he got with what's his face, when he got with Method Man. Then they became a duo and they did some good work. So look, check it. Do y'all remember the era when men really controlled the dating scene with women? Ladies didn't have the average. They didn't have. Y'all didn't have the leverage. Men had the leverage. I don't know what it was, but this was when I was a little boy. I would just see how men would pull up on women, and women would just be like, "Oh, break up and shit." I don't know what it is, but today the women control all. Y'all have all the leverage in relationship. In getting to know men. Men are the thirsty ones. Back when I was growing up, I think the women might have been the thirsty ones. I don't know what changed. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was just what was put in front of me. But the songs that I grew up on, the shit that I listened to, the guys had all the leverage and they sang about it. Who remember this song right here? I ain't playing jukebox today. I just want y'all to listen to a few things since it's relevant to my opening of what I was talking about. Who remember this song right here? Seven 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 9311, baby. I'm gonna spend the night with you tonight if it's all right. God damn. Can you imagine saying that shit right now? Can you imagine that, fellas? You see a chick at the club and you be like, baby, what's your phone number? 777. Oh, I'm sorry. Area code 513 777 9311. Baby, what's your phone number? I'm coming home with you tonight. What is a woman but somebody please tell me, what would a woman say today? 2024, what's she gonna say? What's she gonna say? I could say some rotten shit right now, but I'm not. I'm gonna choose not to. I'm not. You know what she might say is this. All right, now I'm gonna need a little grace. I'm gonna need a little grace on this one. This is one of few things that she's gonna say. She's probably gonna say, "Nah, you can't go home with me tonight because my babysitter is at home. My babysitter is at home. That ain't gonna work." She can also say, yeah, okay, you can go home with me. I don't know. I don't know. Let's go. Let's get it. Do women do that today? Do they actually? I guess one night stands have happened forever. I don't know. But is that the world we live? Is that the same? I mean, ain't it enough shit out here to make a woman say no to a man that come on that strong? I don't know. I'm not out in the scene. I'm just curious. Do they still go to the clubs? Do guys still put on their Old Spice and shit and go to the clubs and think they about to hit a home run that night? Like they about to leave with something in the club that night? I would be scared to death to do that today. I mean, okay, let's take it easy. I'm gonna take it easy and say I would be scared to catch COVID. I'm just saying. There's too much shit out here right now. Motherfucker can't breathe on you without you catching some shit. So I mean, who goes home with a random stranger in 2024? Who do that shit? I mean, I guess some people do. I don't know. I got to get to know a motherfucker first. That's just me. I got to know you. I got to kind of get to know you. Like I mean, now that I understand as a grown ass man what body fluid truly is, and all the shit that come along with all that shit that you doing, I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. Call me old. Call me whatever the fuck you want to call me, man. But I know one thing: I'm safe. That's all I can say. I don't know what we was thinking when we were young. We didn't know. You didn't know any better. But I just don't know. I got a good one for today. I think I got a good show lined up today. I don't have a lot. I think I got enough just to get by. I'm gonna show a video, and I want to know. I want to know if this shit is true or not. I didn't went out and got to the archives, and my man Dr. Umar Johnson and said some more crazy shit. And I just want to know how many agree with this and how many disagree with this. Ladies, this ain't gonna be a good show for y'all. Where's Dominique? Somebody page Dominique. Can somebody hit Dominique's beeper? You know she still got a beeper and shit. Can y'all beep Dominique and tell her we talking about? Put 911 in the beeper. 911 is the emergency. She know that they talking about her on the Wyatt Live show on our pager. Somebody tell Dominique we about to go hard in the paint on the ladies today. I got time. Oh shit, this ain't gonna go. Cause I know my sister Tracy Dillingham said some shit in the Wyatt Live Messenger group today. She think we gonna box. I ain't about to box with y'all today. I ain't about to talk about some old cornball shit with about some Stephen A. Smith shit. He's a sucker for what he did. He a straight sucker for what he did. And I got another video that'll show you how much of a sucker he is. And then who is that put that shit in Wyatt Live Messenger group about Russ Parr? Y'all really letting celebrities really set the tone? We still on that shit? We still letting Michael Jordan sell tennis shoes to our kids, making us think we can dunk? When y'all gonna start listening to real people instead of celebrities? Celebrities are gatekeepers to who we are. They set the tone of how we want to stay enslaved mentally and all that old shit. They get paid. Listen, there's two people in this world I don't listen to. I don't listen to nobody that ain't doing better than me. And what I mean by that is a homeless motherfucker can't tell me how to keep my home straight. Okay? And then I'm not going to listen to somebody that ain't got their shit together. Why would I do that? You ain't even got your shit together. How you going to tell me how to maintain mine? What I should do with my bank account is what? What bank do you bank at? Oh, you don't have an account. Oh, okay. So why would I pay attention to somebody that ain't doing nothing? I ain't never been that guy. And it's not gonna start this month. And the month almost over. But all I'm saying to you is this. Russ Parr said some shit about Stephen A. Smith. That's what forced Stephen A. Smith to do all those fake ass apologies. So what y'all did, y'all sent me something in the Wyatt Live Messenger group, and it was Russ Parr having a whole day and then another day of talking about Stephen A. Smith. And Stephen A. Smith didn't tell any lies. He didn't learn. Yeah, you're right, Ross. He said, right, but Wyatt, you can learn a lot from a dummy. I've actually said this on the show. And you're right, you can learn a lot from a dummy, not what to do. And sometimes knowing what not to do is more important than taking an action forward in the first place. Tracy Dillingham said 5 minutes is not a day. Yeah, it is. He took a whole day to look. For him to step out of his zone of what he normally do and put Stephen A. Smith down for being a Trump supporter when in fact he's not a Trump supporter. He's just a supporter of the right thing. He exposed some things and he didn't tell any lies. And then for the community to use its leaders, which would be entertainers, to shame somebody for some truth. And then this man come back and do some soft shit and apologize for his truth. That's sucker shit to me. I don't do it here. I'm standing on you ain't never heard me come back and retract some shit because I got pressure. I ain't never been you don't think I hear from people or people don't fuck with me anymore because of my stances? I've been called a Trumpster because of how I believe certain things. I don't fuck with Trump. It don't hurt my feelings that a group of people don't want to like me because of my beliefs or who I am as an individual. That ain't never slowed me down. But I know who Russ Parr is. I know that he get paid to keep things in people's mind. He ain't no different than radio people. The same shit that I be talking about. No different. And for them to come back and try to shame Stephen A. Smith for saying what he said, that shows me that you have no strength. That's what's wrong. That's what's wrong with us. Instead of us saying, okay, I understand what he's saying, or I don't understand what he's saying, it's ridiculous to come out and say, oh, I know who he is. That's sixth grade lunchroom shit. He wants everybody to hate Stephen A. Smith. That makes him feel smart and powerful when he has allies to back his insecurities of how Stephen A. Smith feels. Now, when I played it on the show yesterday of what Stephen A. Smith said, I didn't hear anybody saying, damn, that ain't true. Damn, man, he a Trumpster. I didn't hear nobody saying that because Stephen A. Smith, the only time he said the word Trump is when he said Trump is winning in the polls. That doesn't mean that he rocks with Donald Trump. What he's trying to tell the community is what he's saying, is what he's telling the truth. And when you get shamed and boxed in and put in a corner, and your own community looks at you as being some derogatory, or you for the op. Come on, man. I don't even know Russ. This Russ, what's his name? Russ. I don't know him. I don't know him, but I know his kind. I know them. They play, man. These guys ain't no different than preachers. It's just they don't preach the word of God. They preach the word of black folk. They keep us all on this certain type of thinking shit. Institutionalized thinking, and they play that shit. They keep us on cruise ships. They keep us entertained, and they level down the entertainment, the education. I ain't on that shit, man. Teach my people how to get some money instead of getting money. Getting money on your own is different than somebody handing you some money. I don't want to hear that shit. I'm tired of it. Russ, what's his name? Russ Springer. What's his name? Why would you go on the whole air, on a show? Why would you go on there and have that much to say about Stephen A. Smith? Just disproving. That's all you got to do, bro. If you don't agree with him, tell everybody where he's wrong. Don't tell him who he is and we need to watch out for him. He's a hidden Republican. All this old goofy shit you're using to the emotional people. All you got to do is everything Stephen A. Smith said, all you got to do is debunk it. Debunk the information that he's putting out. Prove what he's saying is to be false. Don't make him out to be a bad guy for what he's saying. Make what he's saying not relevant. Not by attacking him as an individual. Now, y'all know I wasn't really mad at Stephen A. until he came out and apologized, and he apologized for his truth. I can't do that. I would do that with anybody that came on the show. Y'all want to hear what Stephen A. Smith said? Let me see because some people may have missed it yesterday. Let me see if I had a video, if I still have it logged up. Let me see. I wasn't going to talk about this shit again, but, I didn't read no Cliff Notes. I watched the whole video, Tracy Dillingham, of what Russ Parr said. I ain't never just looked at a title and figured the book out. Never. I'm never gonna come on here and say some shit about the title of a book, and now I got the whole thing figured out. I ain't never been that type of dude. I've passed up on stories. I've passed up on talking about Breonna Taylor, George Floyd. I passed up on talking about a whole lot of stuff because I did not have the information. But what I did do is I listened to that whole 9-minute clip. That whole 9-minute clip of what Russ Parr said about Stephen A. Smith. And he did not attack what Stephen A. Smith said. He attacked what Stephen A. Smith was about. It was about Stephen A. It wasn't about what he said. So now I'm going to play this video, and then y'all tell me if Stephen A. Smith is being a coon, or if he's a Trumpster, or if because he went on another platform, he even named it. He's been on 5 or 6 platforms. Y'all didn't say shit. You didn't say nothing when he was on CNN saying what he was saying. You didn't say nothing when he was on MSNBC and all these other people shows. You didn't say nothing then. Why say something now? Check it.
Love how y'all pick apart me on Hannity. I was on Cuomo on News Nation an hour earlier. I ain't hear nothing about that. I was on MSNBC at least twice over the last month. I ain't hear nothing about that. I was on CNN. Abby Phillips, Laura Coates several times. I ain't nothing about that. I've repeatedly said, I think Trump will cause civil war in this country. I can't vote for the brother. Y'all just going to ignore that. Why am I bringing all of this stuff up? Because the second black folks find somebody from our community that doesn't march 100% lockstep with one another, they a sellout. They this, they that. Shut the hell up. Shut the hell up. This is getting ridiculous. Okay? Trump is winning. Y'all just gonna stand still? I'm wrong. When I sit up there and I say, yo, Democrats, all you got is the soon to be 82-year-old incumbent. You didn't have anything in the bullpen. I'm wrong for bringing that up. I'm wrong for bringing up why the hell you had Gavin Newsom on Fox News looking like he's running for president. When y'all gonna wake up? I'm wrong when I'm pointing out how black folks for the first time are talking about the borders being flooded, how illegal immigration ultimately negatively affects us. I'm wrong. I'm wrong in pointing out how xenophobia, homophobia, transphobia has all of a sudden become bigger issues than racism in this country. I mean, damn. How much proof do you need? When I brought up the economy, they say the economy is good. They say the economy is flourishing. You trying to tell me you black and you disagree with me when I say to us, we don't want to hear about the numbers. Oh, the labor participation rate is good. Oh, unemployment is good. Oh, the economy is okay. If gas prices are damn near double what it used to be, if the price of bread, milk, cheese, and eggs and everything in between is double what it used to be, but we ain't getting raises at work. You trying to tell me I was wrong for bringing that up? You trying to tell me I'm wrong when you're sitting up there and you talking about and subjects like immigrants in New York City getting $53 million prepaid credit cards to subsidize their existence in this country, and I'm pointing out how that was never done for black people? I'm wrong? I'm wrong? That's where we really want to go? That's what game we playing? I ain't talking politics. I'm talking life. I don't give a damn that I'm inundated with sports all day, every day. I'm a human being. I'm a black man. I'm a citizen of the United States of America. You don't see this shit happening? I'm supposed to just sit idly by and say nothing? The hell with me talking? Why ain't you talking? Why ain't you screaming to the high heavens? Why ain't you telling liberals on the left, yo, you need to stop with the extreme leftist stuff on the fringes with all of that woke stuff? What sex you are, whether you a male or a female, whether you can be a male but call yourself a female and get to compete against women or girls in various sports. You want those issues to be more prevalent than the stuff going on in our community that directly affects our lives as opposed to less than 1% of the damn population? What you doing? How come you ain't doing it? How come you ain't raising holy hell? How come you not speaking up?
Well, Tracy Dillingham said he doesn't even know how to unuse his inside voice, how to use his inside voice. I can't. I get that, sis. I'm not even gonna lie. Stephen A, that's one of the things that I don't even watch Stephen A. Smith anymore when it comes to sports. But he is definitely a pioneer, and he's definitely very successful at his job, and he's done real well for himself, and he's good at what he does. Matter of fact, he's actually great at what he does. But let me just say this to you. I've always had a problem with Stephen A. Smith and his tone and his voice and things of that nature. I used to call him, and some people call him Screaming A. Smith. Yeah, I agree. His presentation is a little rough. He's a little passionate about what he does. But now I seen something in here. Sorry, I'm burning a video. I seen something in here. I think it was Emmanuel Livingston said he is saying a lot of things that isn't factually accurate. I'd like to know what's not accurate about what he said. I don't know if it's me you're talking about or if you're talking about Stephen A. Smith. But what did he say that was factually inaccurate? What part? In his rant, did he say, what did he say that wasn't right? What did he say what did he say that was not true about the damaging of the things that's happening in this country right now and how they affect black folks? Because if I was going to attack Stephen A. Smith for what he was saying, that's what I would attack him for. I would attack what he's saying. And then I would say exactly what Emmanuel Livingston just said, but I would be able to say, well, what's not factually accurate is $53 million going to illegal immigrants in New York. But that would be a lie. The border, if he said, if I would say, well, his take on the border is wrong, but then that would be a lie. I would say Donald Trump, maybe where Emmanuel is right is maybe Donald Trump isn't winning in the polls, because what I'm learning is both sides have different polls. Like Biden and them are looking at one poll and they're doing fine. And then I think the Trump and them team, they're looking at a poll and they're winning. Okay, but when I'm listening to CNN, yeah, I listen to CNN too because I like to get the energy. When I'm listening to CNN is not saying that Biden is winning. All I keep hearing is it's a close race. It's a close race, and in the swing states, this is what's happening, and this is what's happening. It's close. Biden's doing good here, but Trump's on the rise here, and this and this and that. That's what I'm hearing. Okay, that's what I'm saying, bro. That's not enough for me. Yeah, you know that. That's not enough for me. You might as well just be saying what Russ Parr said. He said, I can't spell it out. You spelled all that shit out. You said, I can't spell. You did 3 long lines. I can't spell it all out in the text, but Mr. Smith said some factually inaccurate things. Just give me one. If you can do a long line like that of 3, a long line like that, just give me one thing that he said that wasn't factually accurate. Even if it's what I just gave you, if it's the poll take. Because that's the only thing that I could think. Maybe it's not factual, because you can't look at these polls and say that this is fact. This is an opinion, because it's not official. The polls are not official. The poll, that's like everybody. That's like me saying, okay, I'm going to take a poll on the Wyatt Live show. I'm going to take a poll, and what we're going to do is we're going to say, how many prefer a pencil over a pen? And then I come back and say something, and I come back and I say, well, according to the polls, more people in Cincinnati prefer a pen over a pencil. That's not really an accurate poll, because it's really just a small base of people, and they don't know how I asked the question. They don't know if it was a leading question. They don't know if I went into a certain area that only liked pencils. They don't know. So yeah, I would say that the polls can't be all that accurate. So maybe what he's saying was not a fact on that matter, but all the other things that he's complaining about, they're facts. There's things that's really happening. And see, what happens is a lot of people who don't think it's factual, you just had, unfortunately, where you get your information, you just tend not to, they haven't taught you yet. They haven't taught you about what was going on at the border. Y'all about 1.5 years, almost 2 years behind on that argument. Y'all been talking about Trump all this time, and there's been 10 million people cross this border. Y'all been talking about a whole lot of things that got you feeling real good. Y'all concentrating on these Trump trials, and you're not thinking about what's really going on in the job sector. You got young people graduating from from college that's having a hard time getting jobs in this economy. You got a whole lot, and you know what Biden and them doing is they talking about all these they talking about all these jobs, job force. Have y'all seen what the graduates are talking about these days? People that's graduating from college, have you seen it? Have you seen what's going on in the world of people who are graduating from college? Let me go back, because he said something about it. He said black people hasn't been talking about the border issue. I've heard it from black people since 2001. Oh, okay, yeah. Okay. The truth of the matter is, black folks haven't been talking about the border. They haven't really been talking about the border. You and I both know that, because, well, everybody here does, because I've been talking about the border for 2 years. They don't talk about the border on the radio. When was the last time you heard them talk? Now, Mr. Ware might say something about the border. I heard him say this, boy, I'm cool with Biden, but the only thing I don't like that border situation. Now, he said that in the last month or so, but it's been 4 years. It's been 4 years almost. This year, it'll be 4 years. And they ain't said nothing about that border over there. Now, they said something when the Haitians was getting whipped, if you want to call it that. Yeah, when the Haitians when they had an opportunity to chase that narrative. They did. When they had a chance to try to farm it. And remember when Perm in a Suit went down to Texas because the Haitians were getting hit with the reins of the horses and shit like that? He went down there to stunt. And they turned him back. They told him to get up out of here, bro. We ain't about to, you're not, bro, nah. You can't, nah, you're not about to publicize. You're not gonna add your spin on what's going on down here, bro. You 2 years too late. Now, I have been saying for 2 years that all y'all did the whole time, I'm watching CNN, I'm watching MSNBC. For 2 years, all y'all did was talk about that Trump dude. And it's almost like playing 3-card Molly. While y'all talking about Trump, there's other shit that ain't getting done, and there's things that's getting done behind your back, and you're not even paying attention. And I brought it up several times. I'm like, wait a minute, are you paying attention to what's going on with this? And are you paying attention to what's going on with that? I brought footage. It's not like I really wanted it to be the truth, but when I got footage of what's going on in New York and Chicago and Denver and Boston, when I brought it to everyone's attention, everybody act like they didn't know what the fuck was going on because you wasn't up to speed to what was going on because you was focused somewhere else. That's normal. That's what they do to us. And then we got people that want to attack Stephen A. Smith for arguing those same points. And then you want to call him name and derogatories and call him whatever, gatekeepers and all this old bullshit, when in fact, what he's saying is true. To be honest with you, what's the most confusing thing to me is this. For everybody that talk about they care so much about black people, you sure in the hell haven't really been talking about the real issues of black people in this country when it comes to black people. You only talk about the issues pertaining to black people that other people are involved in. That's it. I don't get that. That's what I don't understand. We don't talk about our crazy ass school system. We don't talk about how the people who look out for us. Y'all ain't gonna have y'all not gonna have a real conversation about that board that your mayor put together. Y'all not gonna have a real conversation about that. You're not gonna. I know you're not gonna have a conversation. They gonna build Cincinnati back again, and you got a bunch of uppity ass, bougie ass people. The president here, the president there. You don't even have no damn community leaders on that board. How you gonna build a community back up and exclude the community people in the board? So what you're doing is you making the people, the community people, you're gonna make them spectators, not decision makers. Normal. That's what people with bad leadership do. They put people in charge, and the people that have the highest and the most expensive voices, they put them in the back and they make the most noise. That's how it works. You just ain't caught up to it yet because you believe the people you put in there really got your best interests at heart. That's why they can sell some trains on your ass and turn around and play word games with you, because what y'all don't understand is law is nothing but language. It's the interpretation of language. That's it. When it gets down to a contract, and I hear all these people talk about contracts, half of them never seen real contracts, never really involved themselves in a contract, but they talk all this contract talk shit and don't have an idea. They can read a contract, but they'll be lost by phrase 3. Truth of the matter is, you and I agree on this. Maybe we should do a show on this. You said that $1.6 billion train, there was language in the contract saying that the money could only be spent on infrastructure. Now, I'm not prepared to have this conversation. I haven't done enough study on the contract or what the law is of how they're supposed to only use that money in infrastructure. However, I know what they told the common man. I know what they told the common folk. And I know what they said. I know what they tried to interpret to the people. And that was, if we sell this $1.6 billion asset, then it will control our tax base, and we won't have any more no new taxes. And I think everybody that was in the back listening to the presentation from the mayor and everybody else who was talking, I think everybody had that interpretation that they were saying, if we sell $1.6 billion worth of asset here, then it'll take care of things and it won't put a burden or a new tax on the people. Who walked away from that? Now, E and I had a conversation. I'm not going to tell you how it was. It was a sidebar conversation. Emmanuel Livingston and I had a sidebar conversation, and who I was burned up with is the people that now I can prove to you right now, just listening to how this shit is working out. Now I know why they were silent. Think about it, E. Think about why I was calling out for the leadership. Why aren't they coming to the people? Why aren't they coming out to the people? The people put them in office. Why aren't they coming out asking the people, well, what do you think we should do? Or giving the people the information of how to vote. Like, okay, this is what's up. We got a tell me another time you'll have a $1.6 billion transition going in the city of Cincinnati and the leadership don't come up and ask you and give you the proper information. Who did they send to the radio to give you the information? Who did they send to the radio station? A Withrow grad. That was just a facade. That was just, and you know, I'm down with death row. Y'all know that. So this ain't got nothing to do with that. I'm saying, what do they put in front of you? Somebody that'll take a blow that they know ain't gonna have to go through. They ain't gonna put no pressure on that young girl. You ain't gonna send no sister in there and they gonna put pressure on her. They ain't gonna do that. And the people who lead that shit, they knew that. They knew that. And I'm gonna tell you another thing. E, this is what I was talking about. This is why they were silent, brother. They knew what the fuck was going on. They knew that they knew. They knew. And I'm going to be honest with you. If I was on council or if I was in a leadership role and I knew I was about to backdoor my people or I knew I was involved in some shit and I really didn't want to do it, I'm going to stay far gone away from the issue too. I ain't going to come out. I ain't going to be like, hey, Davis Denise, hey, Angela, hey, Mary, hey, Mama Birch, hey, Lamont, hey, Emmanuel Livingston, hey, Ron, hey, y'all, vote for this shit. Vote. This is why. This is how we benefit. I'm not going to hype it up. If I ain't got shit good to say about it, I ain't going to hype it up. But I sure ain't gonna put my ass on the line. I would, but some won't. I wouldn't put my ass on the line knowing that I'm hooking and crooking y'all, and then I go try to convince you to do it. Nah, I'd do exactly what they did. I'd stay far away from it. That's the problem, E. E said I was trying to get them the benefit of the doubt. I don't. Because the benefit of the doubt happens for the very first time. We done with these benefits of the doubts. The reason why we in bad leaderships today in 2024 is because we as black folks have been given benefit of the doubts. Y'all better stop that benefit of these doubts shit. Now I'm being honest with you, bro. I got nothing but love for you. You're absolutely right. But if this was the first time, we was looking at this type of situation, I'd probably be giving benefits of the doubts too. But we're talking decades of giving benefits of the doubts and we get played every time. Now here's the thing. It played out exactly like I told you it was going to play out. They already did what they did. The decision makers of putting it on the ballot, they spent $4 million. How much did the opposition spend on not selling the railroad? How much did the opposition? And I'm going to be honest with y'all, whether you like what I'm going to say or not, I'm about to say it. The only people that had anything that had any, how do I say this? Fuck it, let's just say it. The only people that had anything to say from the black community that made any damn sense about the railroad was the Irish Rolly lady. She the only one that said, black people, what do we want? Let's go to the table. Let's say something. Let's do something. Let's let them know what we want. Sometimes you got to understand what leverage is in a negotiation. You got to learn how to be told no so you can get a yes somewhere down the line. That's the art of negotiation. You're never going to get 100% of whatever you ever want. But she the only one. Whether y'all like her or not, dislike her, love her, hate her, whatever. She's the only one that came to the community and was like, well, what do we really want, y'all? We need to tell them what we want. And then, of course, your regular gatekeeping ass Negroes come up and tell me when I go into the chat and I tell them, hey, man, look, can we at least get $400 million for black banks? See, what we don't understand is economics control shit. Your skin color and all that shit go out the window when you got the bread. When you can control your own economy, when you control your own your own economy. All that other shit go aside because now you control your school line. Now you control your banking. You control how people eat. You control things. When you have the finances to do it, just imagine this. Imagine, and I don't mean any disrespect. Y'all heard me say this before. Imagine what Lincoln Heights. And I don't know much about Lincoln Heights. I stayed there with my grandfather on my uncle's side, on my grandmother's side. My uncle's side, his father. I stayed out in Lincoln Heights for some summers, playing. I got a few friends that shit. I don't know nothing about Lincoln Heights to be claiming it, but Lincoln Heights is a village. Imagine if Lincoln Heights was strong economically with its own city council, its own board, its own school. It's a village. It had its own econ system. Imagine that. Remember that, Huddy Hud? Remember we used to go out to Lincoln Heights and stay with Uncle Sonny? Well, it was my grandfather, but he was Uncle Sonny to y'all. Zone 15, there it is. Yeah, this is a real story. I used to be out there. I hung out in Lincoln Heights a little bit, summertime, all that old shit. It was cool. But imagine if Zone 15, if Lincoln Heights was black ran and run and it was running and thriving off black dollars. How many of us would go out there and start businesses? How many of us would go out there and do business in a bank there? We would do it. But see, what we do is we sit back and we want these politicians. You get these politicians in office and they try to tell you that they pushing the needle. And they're really not. They're just playing the same orchestra music. They're just using different instruments. That's all you're doing. And when you give the benefit of the doubt, that's what you do when you bring in people that look like you. Sorry. Now, I know Deborah Ann Say used to be the mayor out there, and her and I used to have some conversations because Deborah Ann Say, she actually raised me at the LeBlanc Boys and Girls Club. And I'm going to tell you, rest her soul. I'm not ever going to tell anybody the intimate conversations we had about politics. But I will say this, it ain't no shit that you ain't ever heard before. She said, some of my own people be my worst, them be the worst ones. They make it the toughest for me. I try to do something, Wyatt, and I'm telling you, it's the hardest thing to do is helping somebody that don't want you to help them. They'll take help from somebody else, you doing the same thing for them. But they'll take help from somebody else and feel complete. Shit, don't y'all ever tell me I don't know. Because I'm going to tell you, I didn't have some deep down conversations with people that got their feet on the ground. And they'll tell you, boy, it ain't nothing worse. I can tell you that. I can tell you there ain't nothing worse than trying to help somebody that don't want you to help them. They always think that the other man shit is better than yours. And I better take a drink on that. Nobody's teaching self-sufficiency. Nobody's teaching self-sufficiency. Emmanuel Livingston said something the other day that I understand where he's coming from. He said, I would never be embarrassed when somebody that looked like me go do something. That was them that did it. I agree with him. I agree. But deep down inside, if we watching Channel 9 News and the little girl left her daughter or her son or whatever at the house, a 5-year-old at the house, and she went and got her hair done, and it turns out to be a little black girl, y'all know we ain't gonna get on the news and badmouth her. I'm not gonna get on the platform and badmouth her, but everybody know that we get a lick on that. Everybody be like, damn, man, damn, little sis, damn. Where her people at? Where her help at? Where her support team at? Damn. We don't feel it hit different when it's one of us. I don't care who you are. It hit different when it's one of us. If it was a little white girl out in Ross or somewhere else that left her daughter or son at the damn house while she went to Perfect Cut or some shit at the mall, we wouldn't give a shit. We wouldn't even care. You know what we would say? See, it ain't just us. That means you took it personal when it was one of us. See, they do that shit too. See? So you prove that it do hit different when it's one of us. And I've been saying on my show for 4 years now, I don't know why y'all think white people don't commit crimes. The penitentiary full of them. Penitentiary full of them. That's proof. If shit, you ain't got to convince me that white people on welfare. You ain't got to convince me that they can't read and write. You don't have to please don't try to convince me. I already know. Spare you to send it to somebody else that might need that information. I'm cool. I got it. I know. All I'm saying to you is this. I had a conversation with my brother Emmanuel Livingston. We don't see eye to eye on everything, but we don't fall out over bullshit. And he was giving them, out of his own mouth, his own words, he was giving them the benefit of the doubt. And when I say them, meaning your leadership. And if y'all was a fly on the wall while we were talking, well, you'd have to be a fly in the phone line, because we were actually talking on the phone. I said, bro, this is the same play. This is the Madden play that you use every time you need to get a yard or two. They use this same play in the playbook. All they're doing is shifting. Okay, I'm just going to say this to you. You ain't going to like this shit. You're not going to like it. White liberals' new hustle is to put a black face to do what they what needs to be done. They'll finance a black person to be in a position. They'll finance their what do they call their campaign? They'll finance black folks who know that they're gonna play by the rules of that agenda. So what we do now is we turn around and say, well, we got a black person in there, so shit about to be different. No, some people play chess, some people play checkers. That used to be a fly-ass terminology to use, but now everybody and their grandmama, even the kids on the street, oh, you can't check me, you can't check me, you can't check me. I see little 4, 5-year-old little boys out at the court talking that chess and checker shit. So it ain't all that fly to say anymore. I'm gonna have to think of something different. Same principle though, same thing. That's all they do. They just change the face of the game. It's no different. If it was different, then things would be different. What's different? What's different? Oh, we progressing. Some people want you to feel like that because look, as long as they giving you trinkets and giving you fake representation, you feel like we doing something. We're not doing anything until we can call something our own. I know my white people, they tripping. Like, is this about to be a Malcolm X one? Is this about to be some Martin Luther King, Malcolm X type shit today? I'm gonna check this one out later on, maybe. I know, bro, you was genuine about it. Emmanuel said I was hoping that it was ignorance and not collusion. I know what collusion looked like. I've been around it a long time. I know what collusion looked like, and I know that ignorance, I know the difference. See, I could, listen, I'm going to address that for 1 second, if I may. Ignorance meant somebody would have came out and said something that wouldn't have made any sense. Silence is collusion. You get it? I'll give you a perfect example because these are the words, these are the things that you like to talk about. Police brutality. Is it ignorance if a white cop that's sitting, his partner or partner in the passenger seat, stays in the car while his white partner go out and do some racist shit to somebody and he doesn't say anything? Is it ignorance? Because oh man, I didn't really understand what was going on there. I didn't get it. I didn't understand. I didn't understand that. No, it's not ignorance. It's collusion. Because he didn't say anything, but he knew what was going on. Now, ignorance would be getting out the car, going up to the other car, And while the bad cop is doing something wrong to them, him saying something like, "You sure? Hey, Paul, come on, man. You sure? They're cool. They're clean. Nothing's wrong here." And then he get back to the car, and the partner come back. They get back in the car, and the partner convince him that what he was doing was right. And this guy's been on the force for 17 years, and this guy's been on the force for 6 months. And the 17-year vet is trying to tell this guy, this is how it is, this is what we do. And he's like, well, wait a minute, I don't understand that. And he's trying to convince him of the codes that allow him to do all that shit. He's taking advantage of this young man's ignorance. But to be silent, that lets me know that it's intentional. And what was my biggest thing, E? Man, stop arguing. Stop arguing, bro. What was my biggest thing? Remember when we had the conversation? I didn't say a whole lot. I said a lot, but I didn't. My whole point was what? No, collusion is when you don't say anything. The simple fact that they're not coming out telling the people anything lets me know that something's wrong here. Did I not say that to you? I said there's a play going on here, bro, and I don't like it. Let me tell you something. The dangerous people in the world are the ones that tend to be the craziest. Yeah. I'm the runaway slave. I'm the one that some people think is crazy. I'm the one that they be like, oh yeah, I'm the one you got to call a Trumpster in order to get some leverage with your people that want to follow. You're going to have to demonize me. But what you won't be able to do is collapse, take away the words that I say. You won't be able to take that away. Just like now, what did Stephen A. Smith say that wasn't factual? You can hate Stephen A. Smith all you want. You can get all the allies and all the people that don't like him. You can do all you want. But what did he say that makes you say, I don't like him because he just lying, he lying. Can I play that clip? Let me see if I can play that clip. I want Russ Parr. I'm gonna give me. See, here's what I think. Before I play this, I'm gonna cue this up and play a couple seconds, a couple minutes of it, and I'm gonna ask you, why does he present this argument of Stephen A. Smith the way he does versus the argument of what point Stephen A. is making? Why is he making it about Stephen A. Smith instead of making it about what Stephen A. Smith is saying? Somebody please explain that to me. That's like me saying, y'all know the 6th grade lunchroom table shit. Y'all know that. If you sit back and say Teresa ain't shit. Teresa, the new girl in school, she ain't shit. I went over there and talked to her for 5 minutes. I already know she ain't shit. And you didn't run around and told the whole school Teresa ain't shit. Now, how many people? 90% of the people in that school gonna say Teresa ain't shit. They gonna believe everything that person said about Teresa. That's what they gonna do. Only 10% of the people might take the chance of going over to have their own conversation with Teresa and then being able to debunk the information about Teresa. Only 10%. And out of that 10%, you're going to have probably about 7% that don't really give a shit. Only 3% will really have some type of, that would be me. I'm part of that 3 percentile. I would ask Teresa, what the fuck going on? How you feeling? You okay? How you doing? Where you from? What shit you like to do? What's your opinion on this? I'm one of them that will ask. And then I will voice my own opinion on Teresa. I don't need you to tell me who Teresa is. I done did it for people, and I know those people probably wasn't lying to me. And I went over and talked and did business with people that told me, man, don't do business with him. He ain't shit. And I got in bed and did business with him. See what I'm saying? I did business with him, and I knew they were going to burn me. I knew they were going to burn me. But I had to get the information. I had to learn what they knew, and I knew it was going to cost me. Sometimes methodical thinkers just, we just do things a little bit different. Y'all think it's crazy. Not everybody, but some people think it's crazy. So this is what I'm going to do. Y'all heard what Stephen A. Smith said. Okay, you heard his argument. Emmanuel Livingston said what he said wasn't factually accurate and this and this and that, but he still ain't brought up one thing that says what was factually inaccurate. I gave you one, maybe the polls. That might not be a fact. It's a fact somewhere. Somebody did the poll. CNN doing their polls. I see what they saying about the polls. What did he say that wasn't a fact? They're not giving out $53 million in vouchers and cards, credit cards to immigrants. They're not doing that. They're not giving out free housing and free food. Have they ever done that for us? What did he say that wasn't right? Well, I'm going to let Russ Parr tell you why he don't like Stephen A. Not what Stephen A said. Not the fact that Stephen A. Smith attacked some of the things that's doing bad to black folks. He wants to attack Stephen A. and make him an enemy of us, an enemy of the state. Why would you want him to be, why would you want him to be an enemy? Versus attacking, tell him where he's wrong, bro. Emmanuel said, I did give you something that was factual. You didn't like it, but I did. Where was it? I mean, did I miss it? Did I miss the comment? Did I miss it when you wrote it down? What was it? I'm sorry, maybe I missed it. Sorry, I didn't hear what he said that was factually incorrect. And then I didn't accept it. I didn't think it wasn't what I wanted to hear, so I just passed it by. I read it. What, bro? Maybe I'm just doing too much right now. Maybe I'm doing too much. Did anybody read the comment that he said? I don't see it. Hold on. You talking too much to Ben about that check. I see all the comments that you having with him. Hold on. He said a lot of things that wasn't true. I don't care about him enough. He said a lot. This was the last comment you said about that. You said he said a lot of things that wasn't true. He said a lot of things that wasn't true. I don't care about him enough. Think that he matters, but he said some wrong stuff. Teresa at the lunchroom table type shit to me, E. I'm sorry. That's not specific. What did he say specifically? What did he say specifically that was off target? Well, let me let you hear what Russ Parr said. Maybe he was being more specific and giving you a reason to not like Stephen A. Smith right now for what he said. But keep in mind, this is what people that look like us. Oh, he said, oh, okay, you're right. You did say that. He said that black people haven't been talking about the border. I don't think black people have been talking about the border, E, in the last 4 years. I don't know I know they talked about it when Obama was running for office because Obama used it. Obama used it. And keep in mind, just to beat you with your own stick on that. Obama says the same thing in 2000, I think it was 2008, I think it was, or something like 2006. What Obama's presentation was about the border is the same of what Trump says today. But Trump is racist for saying the same thing Obama said about the border. Putting people in the back of the line, getting out the country. You're not supposed to be here illegally. I've played clips. Okay, E, get at it later. He picking up the little baby. I've played clips of Obama's opinion of the border. He used it in his campaign. He was not. He deported more immigrants than any president in United States history. So yeah, maybe they were talking about the border back then. But if the border meant so much to black folks back then, why don't it mean so much to black folks now? I think it really does. I just think that our resources, the people that's supposed to be paying attention to this, have us diverted on something else for some reason. That's what I don't understand. And the border is hurting. It's hurting more minority cities. It's hurting more of black people than it's hurting anybody. I'll send it to you. I'll send you his rant. Let me go ahead and do this. What time you going on, E? Can you put that in the screen so I'll know what time I got? So this is what I like to do. I want you to listen to Russ Parr, a radio dude. I want you to listen to a radio dude tell you why he's mad at Stephen A. Smith for being part of 3:30, for being part of a real conversation where he's speaking facts, but he's not going against what Stephen A. is saying. He's going up against Stephen A. himself. Explain to me why he's taking this approach. If this ain't some gatekeeper shit, watch.
Another rant today because I'm annoyed as shit. And of course, I'm doing it from my car. Rolling rants with Russ. That's what's up. Lung Mustard, what's happening with you, boy? Or girl? Foxy Brown. All right. So, listen. It's time to start calling out these black folks, these hidden in the closet MAGA black folks. Now, listen, just because I disagree with you philosophically, politically, and so on and so forth, that's not why I'm ranting about you today. I'm ranting about you is because you think you're being deceptive and nobody knows. You think people don't know who you are. See, because I sat up there and I saw a little bit of Charlamagne the God's interview with Candace Owens, and you know,
Pause. This is supposed to be about Stephen A. Smith. This is what he's doing. He's setting a precedent right now. He's trying to get you emotionally involved in this conversation by making this a black and a white thing right now by bringing up Candace Owens. All right, Candace Owens has absolutely nothing to do with what he's about to talk about Stephen A. Smith. All right, what he's doing is he's using the emotion of a Candace Owens story to make it relevant with a Stephen A. Smith, and now he's getting you emotionally attached. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? This is what they do. This is exactly what they do. Instead of clear the cobwebs out, have a free mind and a clear mind, talk about Stephen A. Smith. Don't bring Candace Owens up, because what you about to say about Candace Owens, I could say about every black person in a leadership position that Biden has put in a spot. They either gay, they on some gay shit with a different race husband or wife. So what you about to say about Candace Owens fits every leadership role that's been put in place by Joe Biden. Do you understand what I'm saying? So he need to get up off this bullshit, because let me tell you something. This is him getting views. This is what they do. They want to show you how down they are. They want to show you how down they are so they don't have a problem keeping us down by the limited information, real information that needs to be done. This is an emotional checker player right here. That's what it is. Check it out.
we're giving a platform to these people that may have our skin color but don't think like us at all. And not to say that we're monolithic. I'm just saying we can have, diverse opinions. Hidden.
Pause. You are saying we're monolithic. That's exactly what you're saying. We're all supposed to think alike. You just said, I don't want us to be, you're telling on yourself, bro. I don't want us to be monolithic. I don't think we all should be the same. Then why don't you value Stephen A. Smith's or anybody else's opinion? Why does it have to be that they're hidden ops? I mean, this is fucking crazy. And he knows what he is. They ain't gonna have no more boat rides if y'all start thinking clearly. Do you understand what I'm saying? This is how they get paid. Listen to what he's saying. Now, I'm not trying to be no hater. I ain't gonna mess nobody hustle up. But for you to say, I ain't thinking that we are monolithic. Yes, you are. Because you're saying you're going down on a black man right now for have a difference of opinion because he don't think like you or think like us. That's exactly what it is to be monolithic.
In the closet MAGA black folks. Now, listen, just because I disagree with you philosophically, politically, and so on and so forth, that's not why I'm ranting about you today. I'm ranting about you is because you think you're being deceptive and nobody knows. You think people don't know who you are. See, because I sat up there and I saw a little bit of Charlemagne the God's interview with Candace Owens, and you know, we're giving a platform to these people that may have our skin color but don't think like us at all. And not to say that we're monolithic. I'm just saying we can have, diverse opinions about things. But I'm not giving a platform, and Charlemagne's a friend. But I'm not giving a platform to somebody that thinks that black men, she couldn't marry a black man because they're not intellectually capable of dealing with her.
Pause. Now, I ain't the biggest Candace Owens fan in the world, but Candace Owens she's a black woman married to a white man, and I can tell you right now, she's never said that she's marrying a white man because black men aren't capable of keeping up with her intelligence. That's a flat out lie. Now, see, this is what I'm gonna do. When I hear something like this being said, I can stop the tape. And I can dispute what's real and what's false. That's what they should have been able to do to Stephen A. This is how he should be breaking down Stephen A's conversation instead of talking about Candace Owens and choice of who they want to be with and MAGA black people and all this old shit. This is an emotional conversation. He's not trying to be authentic about this. He's not being authentic about this conversation. This is what people who want you to live off your emotions, this is how they break it down. They have to demonize you first, and then they come in and be the hero and sweep you off the street. He's not being authentic here. That's why he had to bring up she thinks she's smarter and white men smarter than black, all that old garbage shit. Talk about what he said. Talk about what Stephen A. said. Don't paint a picture for people of who Stephen A. is first. It's not necessary, Picasso.
And she said, you don't know the things I think about, and basically saying how smart and intelligent I am. And a black man couldn't keep up with me. What I find about these black MAGA people is that they are basically ashamed. Some of them, not all of them, are ashamed of who they are. They're embarrassed by antics of others that look like us. Because, the Stockholm Syndrome, we got to make sure Mass is happy.
And that's exactly what he's doing. See, what a lot of people don't understand is Massa ain't always been white. Y'all got to understand, Massa ain't always been white. Y'all didn't know that? Massa was black too. And the new Massa is who you get your money from. I don't care what color you are. You got a massa if you got to keep everybody, if your job is to keep everybody in line of thinking a certain way. If you're the institutional, see, y'all got to understand, when there's an institutionalized thinking, you got to have guards. It's just like jail. You got to have guards. You got to have a warden. You got to have a front line. You got to have people in place, and they usually use spokespeople. They usually use celebrities. They usually use people that are influential. I tell you what, Malcolm X said it best. As long as they keep using celebrities, black folks will be fooled forever. So I'm gonna skip past a little bit. I need him to start talking about why he's on here in the first place. You're here to talk about Stephen A. Smith. Now you didn't already set the tone of, okay, black MAGA people ain't shit. Black MAGA people ain't shit in his mind. So he wants you to think that that's what's going on here, and it ain't got nothing to do with what Stephen A. was talking about. Dispute what he's talking about, Russ. Let me ask you this, Russ. If you care so much about what's on black people's mind, if you care so much about what's going on with black people, have you had a conversation on your show, Russ, about what's going on in Chicago, New York, Boston? Have you had a show that was an hour or two about what black people are suffering and going through right now in those cities, based on how your lovely economy and your lovely regime of leadership is doing? Yeah. You don't have to say it, E. He said he didn't say that, black MAGA. Bro, come on, you know you know, I'm a 10-speed. All right, I'm not stuck in one gear. You know that. And the truth of the matter is, the word spinning in the whirlpool and all that shit don't work with me. He didn't have to say. Those are my words when I say that black MAGAs ain't shit, because he just referenced that. It's all in the tone and in your deliverance of what you feel about somebody. That's what gave me the impression. Okay, so does he really love black MAGA people? Would you get that out of this conversation? No, of course he despises them. Check it. Let him finish talking about how black MAGA people and all that shit is. Maybe he'll dispute something that Stephen A. said. Maybe he'll dispute it here in a second. Hold on. Let him talk, Wyatt.
And we got to cater to them. I think the big thing with a lot of these folks, like the Clarence Thomases and so on and so forth, is that they support somebody that everything they stand for is against people that look like you. That's why it's just hard for me to sit up and become a friend with somebody that's a Trumper. Because that tells me you go along with some of those racist antics that this guy talks about and what he does. And to be honest with you, man, I just can't do it. I can't. You're guilty by association. You know, it's. I sat up and I watched her on that podcast that they were doing. I was thinking, why? She did a documentary on George Floyd that was just so disrespectful. And here's what's happening with her, is that she got her Negro wake-up card because she's not accepted by some of those rednecks.
Pause. Let me tell you something, conscious black man. It's not called Negro wake-up card. Mr. Out of Touch. Mr. Ain't really out here in these streets. It's called a nigga wake-up card. Call. Your nigga wake-up call. Okay, it's not called a nigga wake-up card. I know you in your nice little ride and you want to act like you really down for the people and all that old shit, but if you're going to use the words of the streets and the slang, you better use them properly. It's not a nigga wake up card. It's a nigga wake up call. So stop trying to be down and talk about some shit, and we can tell you on some fake fraud shit right now. We can tell. We know you holding the gun line down, boss. We know. This is how you stay relevant in certain circles. Say something about Stephen A., what he said that wasn't factual. Say it.
In the Republican Party. Yeah, they're rednecks in the Democratic Party, but let's talk about the Republicans. They don't want you part of their camp. And she's finding that out. You know, and that's the big thing, is that I think Trump went on one time because she didn't say something exactly how she wanted to say it. So
pause. You see how he brought up George Floyd and BML and all that? He went over that real fast. The truth of the matter is, thank you, Davis Denise, you just put it up there. Candace Owens exposed Black Lives Matter for what they really were. Now, y'all can be mad at her for that, or you can call her dishonest. You can be mad at her because she married a white man. But when you say that, you got to be mad at your vice president. You got to be mad at a whole lot of people. Your Supreme Court justice. You got to be mad at a whole lot of people these days, right? You've been mad at Clarence Thomas all this time and he got a white wife. But look at your leadership now. Look what's up there. Your first black female vice president, black power to the people, but she married to a white man. Why? Does she think white men are more intelligent than black guys? Anybody ever asked Kamala Harris? And I don't care if I said her name right or wrong. I'm going to say it the way I know how to say it. Does she think that white men are more intelligent than black men because, she's married to a white man just as much as Candace Owens is? This is buffoonery. This is exactly the problem. There's no progress in what he's talking about right now. If he wanted to really make this an issue, all he has to do is go in and piece by piece take apart what Stephen A. Smith said. That's all he got to do. If Stephen A. Smith said all of this stuff and it wasn't real, then I would sit here and I would debunk it all and I'd be able to show you how he's wrong. But he can't do that. He got to make you not like the man. He got to call him all these derogatories, words that have been built for you to not like. These are trigger words, trigger names. All he doing right now is playing his little part.
So now she's figuring out, oh, let me go home. That's what we always do. We go home. But I want to talk about the biggest hypocrite that is so obvious. He's a Trumper through and through, and he's faking it. And he made a statement yesterday. He said that Donald Trump is being treated unfairly and that the law is being used against him to stop his campaign.
Pause. There are legal professionals that look at a few of these cases and they're laughing. Because you're not smart enough, or because you may not really understand the intel of what's going on these cases and understand the process of indictment. You know what? Black folks came up with the term. I want y'all to see this real fast. I want you to see my face when I say this. Black folks came up with the term that you can indict a bologna sandwich. That ain't even some shit white folks say. That's not how white folks talk. Black people came up with the term, they can get an indictment on a bologna sandwich. I've been hearing that for 20 years in my profession. So now when somebody says that these indictments don't look right and they're changing a misdemeanor to a felony, a misdemeanor that may have been a misdemeanor that may have been, I don't know. I think it was already, the time was up on it. I don't know. I really don't know. I didn't look into the case. But they're saying that they had, in order to bring that misdemeanor back up, it has to be now leveled up to a felony. So you have to attach it to other things in order to upgrade it to a felony. And I'm saying to myself, oh, okay, see, that's how you manufacture a case. That's how you manufacture shit. It's been both, E. Because we all know in the hood, we ate bologna and ham. It was both. Both. You could say either one. You go down to that courthouse, you'll hear it either way. They say bologna and they say ham sandwich. Now, the lawyers might say ham sandwich. The lawyers might say ham sandwich because they can relate. I don't know too many of them that eat bologna like that, but we do. And I grew up on bologna. That's what we used to say. Let me let him finish because he's getting to Stephen A. I want you to hear this.
You know who that individual was? His middle initial begins with an A. Yeah, that's right. Stephen A. Smith is a Trumper. And he can't hide that fact because his self-proclaimed best friend is Sean Hannity from Fox News. Birds of a feather.
Pause. I don't know if y'all getting what I'm. Look, I don't mean to shoot a shot, but I think I got to shoot a shot. I don't know who know Russ Parr. I don't know him. And I don't know if y'all gonna understand why I'm even making this observation. And if he want to fight because I'm doing this, or he want to beef and argue and all that old shit, that's fine. I don't give a fuck about shit like that. I want to play this small part that he just said and how he said it. And real men, watch my face. Real men know what I'm talking about when I say this. I'm going to play that part over again. I'm getting gay tendencies from this man. I don't know his lifestyle. It don't matter what he do on his time off and all that old shit. I'm watching his presentation. I'm watching his mannerisms. I'm watching how he's moving, and I'm listening to what he's bitching about, and I'm listening to how he's presenting this argument, and I'm going to tell you something. It sounds like he's toting the line for these folks. There's an agenda out there. I'm going to tell you something. Watch his presentation. Now, y'all can go ahead and tell him that Wyatt said, if he want to box, we can box. but I'm getting gay tendencies from this man. I'm watching him. I don't know too many men that be doing that old gay shit and all that. I mean, it's okay to be gay, but I'm telling you this. If he's gay, there's probably a reason why he's having the argument that he's having. Because what y'all don't, yeah. I'm about to make it relevant. Now, being gay, that's not like a crime, but it would have a whole lot of reasoning of why you arguing what you arguing. If there's a gay agenda pushed by an administration, you're gonna fight for the administration. Y'all don't get it? You don't get it? You fight for everything else. If you don't understand, there's more gay rights that then went on. Okay, that you can say, y'all can say whatever y'all want to say about me about that. All I'm gonna tell you is this. Look at the gay rights and the gay advancement in this country in the last 4 years. They've gotten more than black people. So if you are one of that choose to live that lifestyle, why wouldn't you support it? Why wouldn't you support the person that's promoting your lifestyle and giving you advantages? Why wouldn't you? So what y'all think because, okay, and here's the thing. If he's gay, there's nothing wrong with him being gay. Y'all know my opinion on gay. It's just a lifestyle. All I'm telling you is there's a reason why he would come out and say what he's saying. If he has a motive, the motive could be, well, administration supports gay lifestyle. Then now I'm going to I'm going to go. He has two things. He has being a black man and being gay. So yeah, he got some shit working for him. Now I'm going to let you see it again and I don't know. Watch this.
His middle initial begins with an A. Yeah, that's right. Stephen A. Smith is a Trumper. And he can't hide that fact because his self-proclaimed best friend is Sean Hannity from Fox News. Birds of a feather. Yeah. He basically said,
now that birds of a feather shit didn't get you. Birds of a feather. Am I the only one? I guess so. His best friend. Birds of a feather. I'm just saying. Now, don't act like I'm just using that like I'm trying to say, oh, he's gay, he's bad. And no, what I'm saying to you is if he has hitting agendas in a gay world, like if he's pushing the gay line, then of course he's going to come out and not be supportive of people who don't want to put gay rights over black people rights or over people rights. Look, man, y'all know what I'm saying, bro. I ain't about to sit here and explain that bullshit. I just got gay tendencies. So what? Call me what you want to call me. I'm getting gay tendencies from this dude. And there's some dudes on here that know exactly what I'm talking about. Fuck all that other shit. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I ain't about to be dealing with no trolls.
that, there's no way that Biden can beat Trump. I'm not mad about it. That's how he feels. Man, don't try to hide like you're not a Republican. You're a Republican, dude.
See what I'm saying? He's not even talking about Stephen A. Smith's positions. He's trying to make him a Republican, so now everybody won't like the motherfucker. But listen to how he said that shit, bro. Look, bro, I can't make this up. I don't know no man that talk like that. That's gay. That's like, bro. You ever seen me talking like this? And have you ever? Is this not is this not him for real? Is this some AI shit and I'm tripping? I'm asking. I'm just asking, man, is this some, I know that AI shit getting to the point where shit, my mama might come back to life. I don't know. AI is getting so strong, my granny might be calling me in the next month or two. Shit. But what he's trying to do, he's trying to set the precedent of why don't like this man because of his political beliefs or because he's a Trumpster or because he's a Republican. He is all these things, but he has not debunked what this man has said yet. He's using the psychological warfare that people have already put in your head of why you shouldn't like somebody. He ain't even jumped on the points yet. Listen to it.
Fox News. Birds of a feather. Yeah. He basically said that, there's no way that Biden can beat Trump. I'm not mad about it. That's how he feels. Man, don't try to hide like you're not a Republican. You're a Republican, dude. And you appeal to a lot of people that don't appeal to their Republican philosophy. But Stephen A. Smith jumped out the window for me yesterday. I always had, Charles Barkley's a Republican, but he ain't down for this ass. But Google Stephen A.
Pause. That's it. Yeah, he is exactly what I thought he was. Yeah, he is. And there's going to be some people that have gay children on here that think that I'm making fun and poking fun of that. Y'all know how I feel about the gay shit. You didn't heard me say it. I don't have a problem with gay people, but I do understand why gay people go for this administration, because it's plentiful. There's been what you think opportunity. And what I don't understand is why, look, let me show you this picture right here. This is why a lot of gay people go for this administration right now. I'm just going to show it to you. Some will understand, some might have to catch up, some might get it tomorrow, but some will understand right away. This is the reason why. This is what was sitting in classrooms a year or two ago. You got a gay pride flag on top of a Black Lives Matter flag. All your organizers, y'all do understand that one of the organizers in the Black Lives Matter movement, she's married to a white woman, right? She's married to a white woman. Black Lives Matter. And they got gay flags and Black Lives Matter flags, and they're all affiliated, and they're all it's a movement. It's a movement. Now, you can stay where you are. They're just playing you. They're playing you. You're caught up emotionally, and you don't even care where that $90 million went. You don't even care that they hustled us for $90 million. You just want to be on the team. You don't even care if the team is right, wrong, indifferent. You don't care if you don't even care. And that $90 million, by the show of hands, put your hand in the sky if you sent Black Lives Matter $1. If you sent them $5, if you sent them $10 or $25 or $100. How many of y'all here, and by the show of hands, sent Black Lives Matter a check or a debit card or a cash app? How many of y'all sent them some money? Don't be ashamed. People bought flags, bought t-shirts directly from them. You sent them some money. But I'm going to tell you what they did. They didn't hustle. They didn't hustle the people for $90 million. They used the DEI programs of corporate America across this country. And the three ladies, no disrespect, they weren't smart enough to do that because they didn't have the resources to do that. No one knew Patrisse Cullors. Nobody knows her. But the people that actually orchestrated and put Black Lives Matter together above her and used them, those are the ones that had the resources. Those are the ones that had the ability to go to the DEI divisions of these corporate America, of these companies in corporate America, and get $50,000, $100,000, $500,000 at a time. That's how it happened. Did you really think people in the black community was cutting Black Lives Matter a check for $5? Do you really think that little black boys and girls was going into their piggy bank in their room, breaking open the piggy bank and grabbing their quarters and dimes and nickels together and saying, I'm going to send this $12 I've been saving up, I'm going to send it to Black Lives Matter for the cause? No, they wasn't doing that. Black Lives Matter pimp corporate. They even had the NBA wearing the shit. They had the NFL wearing the shit. They had all this Black Lives Matter shit because we was emotionally attached to it, and it was nothing but a hustle. That's all it was. We didn't learn from that. We didn't learn from that. That was just another thing to talk about later on, and this and the whole thing is a hustle. People getting hustled. We don't really want to understand it because you know what? Sometimes just not understanding makes you feel better. Like, oh, well, okay, Okay. Let me see if this guy can really get to the point of why Stephen A said some bullshit. I'm still waiting. He didn't demonize him. He didn't say some shit. And I'm going to tell you something. This last little phrase of what he said confirms my thought about this guy. It confirms it. No man talks like this. Not a straight man. Listen.
And you appeal to a lot of people that don't appeal to their Republican philosophy. But Stephen A. Smith jumped out the window for me yesterday. I always had, Charles Barkley's a Republican, but he ain't down for this ass.
He ain't down for this ass. Bro, you said that shit way too different. Sorry. That just, he ain't down for this ass. What man says this? Okay, I'm going to move on. Let him finish.
But Google Stephen A. Smith saying that Donald Trump is being treated unfairly. Fuck Stephen A. Smith. Screaming A. Smith. He's being treated unfairly because he broke the law. He ripped off New Yorkers for years. And so many other companies never paid them. He's bankrupted 15 businesses.
Pause. Once again, we're dealing with someone that don't understand business, who's setting the narrative and talking all this old crazy shit. Here's the thing. When you're a billionaire or when you have your hands tied up in a lot of, in a lot of businesses, your name is on the top of it. If me and Emmanuel Livingston go in business together and it fails, it could have been me that caused the division, that caused the whole company to fall apart and fail. Could have been me. But you know who get the blame for it? Myself and Emmanuel Livingston. You know who gets a bad name for it? Myself and Emmanuel Livingston. Emmanuel might have just been an investor. Emmanuel Livingston might have just invested in my company. And I drove it in the ground and I went bankrupt. Now he gets a bad name for being a bad businessman. Show me a businessman, and I'm talking about a successful businessman, a man that can say that they've done $100+ million that have never filed bankruptcy. I'm not talking about entertainers. Like, for instance, you could say, well, LeBron James has never filed bankruptcy. Not that I know of. He shouldn't have to because he has a guaranteed income. It's the NBA. But has LeBron James ever put his name on a business that has failed and it went bankrupt? Has LeBron James ever been part of an unsuccessful business? He's a billionaire. I got another one for you. Has Jay-Z ever put his name on a business that ever filed bankruptcy? He's a billionaire. They have. Does that make them bad businessmen? No. Trump's casinos went bankrupt in New Jersey because New Jersey couldn't handle casinos anymore. Casinos drain that bad economy. When you can't pay your bills as a casino because you don't have patrons coming in, how does that make you a bad businessman? I filed bankruptcy twice. I guess I'm a bad businessman. Makes me a bad businessman because I filed bankruptcy. No, what it does is it separates those that really do shit from those that maybe think about what they want to do, those that dream about what they want to do. It separates the men that put on the pants and the men that put on the panties. That's all it does. But to call somebody a bad businessman or a failure because they filed bankruptcy or a business didn't succeed, I want to hear somebody who's in a successful business say that. I want that point of view to come from somebody that's successful in business. I want them to turn. I don't mean no correspondent from CNN or MSNBC, somebody that's paid to say what they say. I want somebody who has been in the trenches, built a business from scratch, failed, and then failed again, and then became successful. I want them to have that same perspective, that same point of view on Trump or anybody else who has failed 15 times and filed bankruptcy. I want to hear a successful man say that that man ain't shit. It's easy for the man on the sideline to say, I would have caught that if it was me. It's easy for the guy on Monday morning who watched the quarterback throw 3 interceptions say, man, I would have zipped that over his head. They would have never caught that shit. Them be the ones that talk the most shit and ain't never in the game. Maybe he's going to say something that's going to debunk what Stephen A. Smith said. I'm still waiting, bro. You didn't paint the picture of him ain't shit. He's a MAGA. He's a Republican. Charles Barkley, a Republican. All this old shit. But what did Stephen A. Smith say that people should be so alarmed about? I'm still waiting, bro. We about 7 minutes into this video? And you ain't said shit other than why Stephen A. ain't shit? Come on, bro. You got to give me something more than that.
He's not a businessman. The only reason he got into the race is to be able to become president so he can dismiss all these charges against himself.
Pause. Like I told you, I'm about to go to the phone lines because I got somebody that's been waiting for a very long time. Pause. Do you hear what he just said? Let me pull the screen up. Did you hear what he just said? He just said the only reason why Trump got into the race is because he wants to get these charges dismissed off of him. Somebody explain to this man that Trump ran for president first and then the charges fell. Then the charges came. Because there's a strong possibility if he would have just run off in the sunset, if Trump would have just ridden off in the sunset and been president one time and went down to Mar-a-Lago and sip pina coladas and sit on the beach and just didn't do shit, these charges would have never came up. They had 4 years. Well, 3 years. They had time to charge him for this some time ago. These charges, Russ Parr, didn't come up until this man said he's running for president. He didn't get indicted on this shit and say, oh shit, I better run for president so I can, void these charges. That's not how it works. So stop saying that shit. CE, this is the difference. The difference is when somebody says something like this, I can stop the tape and debunk what they're saying. I don't say, well, he's saying a whole lot of shit that ain't right. I'm pointing out what he said that wasn't right. Let him finish.
That's the only reason. He's a grifter. But when I sat up and I read that, and that was 2 days in a row that Stephen A. had said something super positive about Donald Trump, then went, oh, okay, I see what it is. See, because Stephen A. is a millionaire. Donald Trump's alleged policies cater to millionaires. He gets those tax breaks.
Another emotional piece. I'm about to go to the phone lines right now. Another emotional attack. Okay? Another emotional attack right here. Bring in the millionaire. I tell y'all all the time, they make millionaires the bad guy. This is another piece of the puzzle, part of the playbook. Dirty Republicans, dirty millionaires. Oh yeah, Stephen A. is a millionaire. Now that's another reason not to like him. He get tax breaks. No, here's what happens when you get money. You get accountants. You get people that there's no law in America, Ross Parr, that say that you can't do the same thing that Stephen A. is doing and any other person that has $1 million worth of assets. And it's a lot of people that have been working for companies for 20, 30, maybe 40 years. When they retire, they will get those same tax breaks because they have assets well over $500,000. But you'll never know that because it's not an everyday conversation for people. It's what people who understand how money move. That's why you hire people like that. This man is trying to make y'all think that Stephen A. is saying what he's saying now about what's going on in the country because he's a millionaire. If he's a millionaire, he shouldn't care, right? I don't understand the relevance of what he's trying to say other than to demonize him. Let me go to the phone lines, man, because people been waiting. I apologize for that. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
Hello?
Yes, caller.
Hi,
Hey,
how are you doing
I
today?
appreciate you waiting. I'm doing well, man. My apologies, man. I got off on a rant. On a rant. Sorry.
No, it's okay because uh, they have the Webbies for podcasts that come over the internet.
They had a what?
They have the Webby.
Webby?
Yeah, it's called the Webbies. It's basically the podcasting version of the Grammy.
Oh, okay. I never heard of it, but that's good. That's cool.
Yeah, and I think you should. I think they should really nominate this segment of this podcast today into the Webbies. This might be your finest hour of podcasting.
Well, thank you. I'll take that as a compliment.
Oh, because it is. There was an insistent and indignant uh, person in your group that was going off on me about the same thing about Russ Parr and Stephen A. Smith. And I was like, no, this is just clear out of jealousy. Nothing he said was wrong.
Nope.
Nothing Stephen A. Smith said was wrong. Anything, you just mad, you just don't like Stephen. That's all. The people who don't like his thing, and what you're saying about Russ Parr. Have you ever seen the Spider-Man with a Sandman was the villain?
The Sandman. Yeah, you talking about the cartoon?
Huh?
Are we talking about Spider-Man when he was the cartoon when he went up against the Sandman?
No, the movie.
No, I've never seen that one, bro. But I do remember the Sandman when they were when I was a kid and they were the cartoon. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, it might have been the Incredible Hulk. I forget which one he was the arch enemy of. But in one of those movies, the Sandman, when he was walking around, he would leave sand in his wake to let you know it was him.
Yeah, I remember that.
That's what Russ Parr does with Sugar when he walks.
See, look, I didn't really want to go there, bro, but I think there's a hidden agenda of, bro, people that run together, they have to have a motive. There's a motive there. I think that he has some yeah. Not bro, you probably don't agree with me. Some people don't agree with me with when I start talking the gay stuff. I don't have a problem. Y'all know I don't have a problem with gay people. I just think that we ought to be honest about certain things. And I think the reason why Russ Parr is going where he's going right now, Fame, is because he has two things working for him. I think that he's a gay man who this administration supports gay activities, cross-dressing and men playing in women's sports and all that old shit. They support that. And I think that, people that live that type of lifestyle will support that type of administration.
Well, yeah, and you might want to be careful, saying people are gay like that because, people in your group will say that, they say you're coin counting. They'll say you're booty watching.
Well, no, I what people say don't really matter to me, bro. Like I don't care. Like people can say whatever they want to say about what I'm doing. That don't matter to me. But I feel you. I know what you're saying. Like in the chat today. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like in the chat, like because you have an opinion about somebody, it don't mean that like Stephen A. Smith is the best at what he does. He's like a pioneer. Nobody does it like Stephen A. Smith. I'm not a Stephen A. Smith fan, but I got to respect what he does. Okay. At the same time, you can't just say what this man is doing is just like we supporting him only because he like a hero. We're supporting him because he's a millionaire. No, the man spit some facts, and nobody wants to talk about what he said. They just want to talk about why he said what he said.
Exactly. It's very nonsensical. When you're in Rome, you have to do as the Romans do. America is a capitalist society, and you have to think like a capitalist to advance in this society. You go on with that socialism view. Everybody got to be fucked up and downtrodden. You'll come out as one of those people.
Yeah.
With that mentality. And to sustain anything you've gained, you have to continue to evolve mentally and emotionally and socially. But Russ Parr would want us to all, remain crabs in a barrel type of, like I said, communism type of deal.
Well, Fame, did you hear he said, I'm not saying this, I don't think we're all a monolith. But you're sitting here, you're bitching and complaining and dogging a black man out because he thinks and has a different opinion of you. He's not one of us. Did you hear him say that? So you basically saying that we're all supposed to think alike. We are supposed to be monolithic. That's what you're saying because you're complaining about his opinion or his take of what he thinks about this Trump thing.
His rant was jealous fueled, hateful, and just he's one of those where he's trying to sound intelligent, but he's just intentionally trying to confuse you. That's what he's saying. It was so blatant and brazen. It's like, wow.
Well, Fame, if I may, bro, listen, I promise you can have the floor. There's a word for all of that. It's called institutionalized. That rant right there that he had about Stephen A. Smith was a contradictive, institutionalized man who I know got some other shit going on in his life. You would absolutely have to be mad at Stephen A's success. You would absolutely have to be mad at his take and why he believes what he believes, but you didn't come in with anything powerful to say or to debunk what he actually said. Where is the information that Russ Parr could stand on that makes Stephen A. clown for saying what he said?
He had none of that. It was just to attack him personally.
Exactly.
For his views, but we're not a monolith, right?
Right. So he says.
That's all I got. That's all I got.
Hey,
sir.
Fame, thank you for holding on, man. I appreciate you.
No problem. It was worth it because, like I said, this might be in 4 years. This might be your finest hour of podcasting. You need to jump back and kiss yourself and take a bow. Oh!
Well, now I don't know if I'm gonna do all of that, but I appreciate the compliment. I don't think this is the best I've ever done, to be honest with you. You know, I've told a lot of truth on here. I'm going to be honest and say thank you, Fame, but I'm going to say this. If y'all go back 4 years ago when I started Wyatt Live, I think some of my best work was the work I done that nobody ever seen. I think some of my strongest opinions and proof of what I've been talking about have gone on, and no one actually seen it. Now, before I get out of here, I'm going to show you something, and we're going to talk about it tomorrow. All right, I want to show you this video. It's a Dr. Umar new thing. Tag your friends. Get your brothers and your sisters, and ladies, I'm going to tell y'all something. Y'all ain't going to like this shit. Y'all are not going to like this one, but we got to have this conversation. We have to have this conversation. Dr. Umar is back at it again, and now he's talking about why brothers get snow bunnies. I got to let you see this video. It's a video that it's fairly short, and we're going to talk about it tomorrow. Tag your people. Let them know we going hard tomorrow. And I just want you to, fellas, does he have a point when he says this? Ladies, is this shit true? I want y'all to hear this, and then you tell me, give me your opinions, and we'll talk about it strong tomorrow. Check it out.
One of the biggest advantages the snow bunnies have on our women is snow bunnies will find a dusty brother and see his skill, his talent, you feel me? Yeah. Invest in him in college. And by the time he become a multimillionaire at 35, she been with him the whole walk. You see that? A lot of sisters are not going to do that. They're not going to find a dusty brother in his senior year or dusty brother in the community. But you see, he got this business idea. She like, nah, come back and see me when it's up and running. I don't think this ever going to happen. Snow bunny invested in him. You feel me? 10 years later, the same brother see you. You trying to holler. He got the white girl. And it came to you. You said you want a ready-made black man. You don't want a work in progress. And I'm telling black women, y'all better start going for some of these works in progress instead of waiting for us to finish the job because you losing to the snow bunny when you tell us to wait until we got the bag.
Black women, don't get mad at me for saying this. When they're placed in some of these environments, the fucking agenda is just it sticks out like a sore thumb. So because you may be so money hungry and things of that nature, the player might not even have time to really get to know you, see what your personality is.
But a lot of white women just as money hungry.
But I think they have strategy. I definitely feel like, unfortunately, white women move with strategy. Black women have an agenda that's just very like apparent.
Normally,
I don't know. I'm gonna say something, but I don't want to steal the thunder from tomorrow. I don't want to steal the thunder for tomorrow. Shit, how do I say this? I think he's wrong. And I'll explain tomorrow why I think he's wrong. But there's some truth into a lot of what he says here. But I think the overall situation is wrong. I'm gonna get to it tomorrow. How about that? I don't want to get into it today. That's my time, y'all. Peace and love to all my family. See you guys tomorrow at 1 o'clock.
conductor.
Wait a minute. Let me ask you a question. Who's still here? I'm just playing. I'll see y'all tomorrow at 1 o'clock.
Conductor.
Yeah. I'm out here on the road. You can hear it in the voice. Still get this shit off, though. Look. The money speaking for itself, I call it fortune tell. 5 top from a bitch that work at corporate sales. Chinchilla Ushanka, we skiing out at Courchevel. Breaking news, they try to kill him, but the boy prevails. I leave for tour and my niggas fucking go to jail. Preaching to the dogs by wanting more for themselves. It's weighing heavy on my moral scale. Knowing they gon' sell another Citizen Kane, they think they Orson Welles. Walking Chanel, they like, how the fuck you need more Chanel? I got these cats tucking tails on 4-quarter sales. I'm used to seeing tears drop over enormous meals. The restaurant clears out, faint echoes of Lauryn Hill. I say we gotta talk about us, I feel like Jordan Peele. Could tell I'm getting under your skin like an orange peel. Cause your words don't match your actions like a foreign film. And now silence in the lamb like the horror film. Things get quiet after me stating the obvious. Things get kinky after 15 years of dominance. That October sky is looking ominous. The money is autonomous. Shout to Oliver North, he out in Rome doing Toronto shit. And Jeremiah the watchdog, you niggas know what time it is. I'm in and out of Houston hobbies so much I'm a hobbyist. Hoes waiting on cinch in the lobby, that boy a lobbyist. Savage got a green card straight out of the consulate. Where I go, you go, brother, we Yugoslavian. Formal is a dress code, dawg. So many checks owed, I feel Czechoslovakia, nigga, what the fuck? Nah, I'm moving different right now, for real. Like, I feel like if Mike switched out the glove for the pen, like, this shit just too enticing right now, you know? Look. Diamonds do the silly dance, I raise up the wine glass. Metal detectors beeping, it's security bypass. The numbers going up, someone pull up the line graph. The days are going by, it's like I'm living in time lapse. They talking to Adele like he majored in finance. Shania Twain notepad, I'm making it line dance. You try and rob me and it's gon' feel like you sitting at your favorite restaurant, cause nigga, that's where you dine at. Mob ties, I swear we like a bitch with fine sisters and fine cousins, the family all bad. I'm preaching to the dolls about cleaning their images. I swear I'm like a young T.D. Jakes to my menaces. Long kiss goodnight, PDA for my nemesis. 300 acres, PGA on the premises. That's what's really bracking like this verse in parenthesis. I'm giving hits to niggas on some don't even mention it. Like, don't even worry about it. Like, just get me back whenever. Or don't, you know. It is what it is, I guess. Yeah. Look, you young boys take some of that money and set it aside. Not having enough to pay your taxes a federal crime. You niggas obsessed with me and it's not on no hetero vibe. Handle beef so quiet, you think that I'm letting it slide. Next thing you know, we tiptoeing past enemy lines. Diss me so long ago, we making your memories fly. Conspiracy theories start floating around like the Kennedy guy. I'll probably hold a grudge against you guys till I'm 75. Hey, niggas lying for a living, I couldn't relate. We all gotta lay in the bed we make, but that couldn't be Drake. You forced a lot of fake love when real ones stood in your face. That's why you got deserted by your niggas like pudding and cake. I got you on camera bowing down, but the footage is safe. Thank God, another USB to put in the safe. Thank God, at the crib dipping my foot in the lake. I swear that y'all turned me into the villain, I couldn't escape. Not saying I'm the best at what I do, I'm just saying that it's me versus whoever wanna lose. Pick any one of the who's. I got 2 tools for new crews. RIP to the DJ from Houston, we lose screws. Helicopters, cop lights, and news crews. Niggas steady crying to my daddy, well boo-hoo. You probably heard a lot about the boy, well true.